Hi everyone, it's Nathan here. Welcome to our Pacific Boating step-by-step anchoring video. One of the most difficult things for people new to boating, and even for people with loads of experience, is anchoring. How do you locate a safe anchorage? How do you anchor and determine if it is set? How do you raise the anchor safely? In the next few minutes, we'll look to answer all these questions and take you through the anchoring process in detail. First of all, you can give yourself a head start by planning ahead, choosing a good location to anchor. Consider other boats in the area, wind direction, water depth, and if the tide is going in or out. Once you've picked a good spot, turn on the windlass, the anchor winch, and test the windlass controls at the helm station to ensure it is working. Next, remove the safety clip from the anchor and clip it onto its own base. Test that the anchor will go up freely by operating the winch down a bit using the deck switches and free up the anchor if required. Now, position the vessel forward of where you wish to anchor and note your depth. Maneuver the vessel to have the bow pointing into the wind or current. Note the direction you are pointing and use a landmark so you have a checkpoint should you start to drift. Place the vessel in reverse so it commences to move backwards. Put the engines in neutral and immediately start lowering the anchor at least 4 times the depth. The anchor will release 1 meter every 2 seconds. This is important as it is not the anchor alone that holds the boat, but the length and weight of the chain. Wait for the anchor to set. The anchor chain will become tight and the bow will be pulled back into the wind or current if the anchor has set. If there is no wind or current and the vessel has stopped without the anchor grabbing, then rotate the vessel on the spot when necessary to point the bow towards the anchor and reverse the vessel straight backwards. Once the vessel is in motion, put the engines in neutral. The momentum of the boat will make the anchor set. Once the vessel has settled into an even pattern of swinging back and forth, observe a stationary object out the side of the vessel to assess that the vessel is not dragging. If it is dragging, pull the anchor back up and try it all again. Once secure, turn off the engines. Now we'll take a look at the process for weighing the anchor. Always remember to safely start the engines and go through your operational checks first. Check the bow thruster is on. It is a good idea to nominate an assistant to be on the bow as an anchor spotter, who can indicate the direction of the chain. When the vessel is pointing back at the anchor, place the boat in and then out of forward gear to start the boat moving slightly towards the anchor. Start winching the chain back in. If the winch struggles, stop winching for a few seconds and then start again. If in a strong breeze, drive forward for a few seconds if needed to take any tension off the chain. When the anchor pulls free from the bottom of the vessel, it will start to drift. The anchor spotter should inform you when the anchor breaks the water surface. As the anchor shaft enters the guide of the bow, stop winching. This will allow the anchor to settle in the correct position. Winch the anchor in the last little bit and fasten the safety clip back on the anchor. Sometimes the anchor can get stuck. If this happens, move the boat towards the anchor and winch the chain in until it is taut and running vertically up and down. Point the bow in the same direction as when you first let out the anchor. Use your nominated landmarks. Rotate the boat 180 degrees and reverse it in a straight course away from the anchor. If it does not release, reposition the vessel and try again until the anchor comes free. Then continue winding it back in. When an anchor becomes stuck, it is important that you not use too much engine throttle as you'll cause damage to the bow of the vessel. You should also be aware of all guests on board the vessel at this stage and they should be seated in the cockpit. Should you suffer from an engine or battery failure whilst underway, you'll need to drop the anchor manually to secure the boat. While the anchor winch is electric, you can still lower the anchor manually in an emergency situation. Remove the safety clip from the anchor and grab the winch handle from the helm. Place the winch handle into the socket on the top of the winch. This is a lock nut for the clutch plate to emergency release the anchor. Next, rotate anti-clockwise to loosen the winch sufficiently and allow the anchor chain to run out freely. Allow as much chain as possible out to properly secure the vessel. So that's it for this demo, but as conditions are not always perfect, we'll take a look at now some of the most common questions we get asked. If it's windy, always look for the most sheltered spot. However, if you need to anchor in an area that is affected by strong winds, ensure you have extra swing room and put out extra chain to ensure you hold. Yes, at night, you'll need to let out chain that is equivalent to 5 times the water depth, and you'll also need to check your position every 2 hours during the night to ensure you are maintaining the same position. So if you're in a crowded spot, like New Year's Eve, and have very little room to maneuver, you'll need to ensure you have ample swing room to ensure you do not drift into nearby anchored vessels. You need to be aware of your position at times of high tide and during falling tides, as you may need to let out more chain or retrieve some chain in extreme weather and when anchored near steep drop-offs. That's it for anchoring. If you're out in the water and have any problems, then please don't hesitate to call the office anytime and we'll be happy to answer your questions. For more training tips, make sure you check out some of our other videos or visit the website, pacificboating.com.au. Thanks for watching.